Welcome to the 700 Club. Let's go over to the CBN News Desk for today's top stories.
Today marks the long-awaited first meeting between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. The high-stakes encounter is coming in Germany at the G20 Summit of World Leaders. Mark Martin has the story.
Trump tweeted today that he looked forward to the sit-down meeting with Putin, saying there was much to discuss. The two leaders reportedly shared their first handshake. On the agenda for their meeting, Russia's actions that have led to instability in its region and elsewhere, like Syria, along with the war on terror. The Kremlin also wants the U.S. to return 2 compounds that the Obama administration took over in December because of Russia's reported spying activities.
President Putin will walk in that door with a very specific agenda in mind, and President Trump needs to be prepared to handle that.
Trump called out Russia in his speech to the people of Poland Thursday for actions in other countries, including Ukraine.
We urge Russia to cease its destabilizing activities in Ukraine and elsewhere, and its support for hostile regimes, including Syria and Iran.
An enthusiastic crowd greeted Trump in Poland, where he defended faith, family, and freedom. The president recalled how in 1979, when Poles gathered for their first Mass with Polish Pope John Paul II, the communists in Warsaw must have realized their oppressive system would soon crumble.
They must have known it at the exact moment during Pope John Paul II's sermon, when 1 million Polish men, women, and children suddenly raised their voices in a single prayer. 1 million Polish people did not ask for wealth. They did not ask for privilege. Instead, 1 million Poles sang 3 simple words: "We want God."
Trump went on to say those words still ring true today.
The people of Poland, the people of America, and the people of Europe still cry out, "We want God."
Through their devotion to God, Trump said the Polish people were able to fight the oppression of communism and prevail. Mark Martin, CBN News.
The fight is not over to release the terminally ill 11-month-old British baby Charlie Gard to his parents, with President Trump stepping up his involvement by talking about the situation with Prime Minister Theresa May. And some people see it as a warning sign of the dangers of a government-run healthcare system. Abigail Robertson brings us the story.
Charlie Gard's parents are doing everything in their power to fight the British government from controlling how their son, who was born with a rare mitochondrial disease, spends his final days.
If he's still fighting, we're still fighting. And he's still fighting over there, believe me, he's still fighting. He's a little fighter.
The parents have faced a series of heartbreaking legal defeats aimed at gaining the right to transfer their son, who can't breathe or move on his own, to a hospital for experimental treatment or to keep him on life support. Despite privately raising over $1.7 million for his treatment and having offers from a U.S. hospital as well as the Vatican to treat Charlie for free, the hospital and British government refused to release the baby. And they won't permit the family to take Charlie home to die in peace.
And we've promised our little boy every single day that we will take him home, because that is a promise we thought we could keep.
Since the British government pays for the health system for its citizens, they have the authority over medical decisions. In this case, the government agrees with the hospital doctors, who say it's time to remove Charlie's life support and allow him to die. Advocates for Charlie's release argue this case sets a dangerous precedent for the government and medical authorities determining who lives and who dies.
People do not understand how that the heavy hand of the state could exert its authority over this child, taking the rights from the parents who simply want a little more time.
Religious and world leaders and even pop stars like Cher are voicing their support for the Gard family.
I think with so many moving pieces and talks at the level of the White House, I think that there's still some hope. Perhaps that Charlie could be moved to a different hospital.
Last Friday, the courts gave the hospital permission to pull Charlie off life support, but his parents are hoping he will be released before they do so. Reporting from Washington, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.